Oh, hi there. I was just in the middle of updating my DJI Mic 2 set. I love this piece of gear, but like any other great piece of gear nowadays, you need to check the firmware and know how to do it quickly and update it swiftly. So follow along with me because I have not done it yet since I've had this set, so this is very exciting. This set comes with two transmitters and a receiver, and from what I understand, you have to update them all separately. I thought it'd be kind of cool if you could just plug it straight into here and it updates everything on its own. Perhaps the future, that's what lies in store for the DJI line. Let's begin by checking for the firmware. Because I have the transmitter and the receiver on, I can check all three because they all require their own firmware. Pretty cool, huh? I'll swipe down for the menu, press for the settings button, swipe over until I get to the version. I'll click on the version and you can see 040308.31. If I swipe over one more time, you can see that I can update the firmware for the two transmitters as well, and they have all the same numbers. Take off any adapters that you might have on the bottom side of this receiver. There was one video I saw where a viewer was like, if you leave that on or take it off without telling the viewer, then your video is completely useless. And I don't want to get chewed out by this guy, and he's quite frankly scares me. So just take it off, and we're going to turn off the unit. And let's turn off these units as well while we're at it. Okay, great. I'm going to plug in the USB-C into the DJI Mic 2 receiver. Now the computer might recognize it, which is a good thing. And here is a drive. This is the receiver right now. And I wrote down the versions that I need to change up right now. So I'm going to go to Google and type in DJI Mic 2 firmware. Okay, I'm going to go to the very first link, and unlike other websites, this website makes it very easy to find what you're looking for. Are you trying to update a receiver? Great, download that. And it downloaded that Mic 2 receiver firmware. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and here it is, the .bin file. So what I'm going to do is open this drive down here, and I'm going to stick it in. Just copy it on over, and it's going to copy as we speak. Some firmware updates for pieces of gear require you to get another program and then use that program to send it over the firmware. But in this case, you're just copying it into the drive like any other memory stick, for example. So my thing is already done, so I'm going to close this and eject it because I have a Mac. I'm going to take out the USB-C from my transmitter, and as you can see, it is updating on its own. This is even taking a little longer than I expected. This is the very first time I am updating my receiver. Now, while that's going, I'm going to plug in a USB-C cable into a transmitter, making sure that it is off. The Mac says, do you want to connect to it? I say yes. I'm going to go back to the website and go to transmitter. I'm going to download this transmitter firmware right now and go back to my downloads folder. The transmitter.bin file is here. Open up the no name drive here and just drag it from here, my computer, into the directory here. Not into this folder, but right here. Okay, it's copied over. It did not take that long at all. I'm going to trash it so it ejects it. And then I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to let that settle for now because this receiver is still updating. Now, without getting confused, take the other transmitter, plug that in. Remember, this is off. My computer is going to register it. I'm going to open that up and move that .bin file, which is the firmware for the transmitter, copy it on over. And then I'm going to eject that transmitter because I have a Mac. Now I'm going to unplug that. As you can see, the receiver says update successful. Turn on one transmitter and the other transmitter. Love this gear, by the way. I'm going to swipe down for the menu and go on over to settings. And I can see here that the update is now 4501.11. If I swipe over, it'll say 040501.11. So it looks like I was behind quite a bit on some firmware updates, which is great. You don't need to update the ones that you've missed. Just go ahead and install the most recent one and you should be covered up until that point. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.